So you literally come in the studio and then formulate sentences in your head.
Yeah. And I started going live on Facebook and started showing them my records and letting them know, hey, we about to get our land back. That's when I was trying to get my grandfather's land back in West Virginia because they had took it in taxes and told him not to claim that he was Indian. But I showed that on Facebook. My very first Facebook video that went viral was 7 million views in a day.
Back in '82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin quarter mile.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
And then my second one was the very next day, and that hit 7 million.
Watch this.
And I showed them, look, we going to court and how we won. And I still got that land to this day.
That's what I'm talking
But,
about.
like, I mean, cause he gone now, you know, of course he passed this year. I had to bury him this year. But now it's based off of what he put in his will. He gave me some property, and that was one of it. And I'm glad he did that. We had that conversation, you know what I'm saying? I told him I was gonna make sure everything was straight. Like to a point where we don't have to worry about it going to or back to anywhere, some type of bank or something like that. I promised him I was gonna take care of it. So it's my responsibility now. I'm the big chief of the family. Like mainly I'm the historian of the family too. I hold all the family records, all the family pictures.
None of it.
Because my grandmother, before she passed, she used to do that. And when she passed, it went down to my aunt. Then my aunt passed. And now it's down to me. Granddaddy just let me have all of that. It was a lot of stuff that was being held back because I just never asked. Because once I started, but I think my grandfather stepped in once he saw I was going the wrong route. It was like, all right, let me tell you what's going on.
This nigga's straight line. What the fuck? Nigga, get your story straight. So, we can start with the Eastern Band Cherokee, right?
Yeah.
First, let them know they got a drug problem on their motherfucking reservation. And then we'll call around to see if anybody knows you.
Yeah. And right after that, I started asking more questions. Like, and that's how I got in contact with my pop's side of the family, because my pops was like, all right, come down here. Let me show you what's going on. But yeah, so I got the majority of my family already set. Like most of them are in tribes and some of them choose not to. But like my Aunt Kat, just one of the, I'm not gonna state that particular tribe, but she just got her house built because of the tribe. She had to wait for 8 months for the house to get built, but they paid for it. Based off of her fighting, because they tried to claim that she was a freedman, and she was like, no, I'm not no freedman. But she won it in court. I could say North Carolina, I could tell you that, but she got a whole, matter of fact, she not only got a house, she got a nice little Toyota truck off of that too. They basically gave her money that was owed. Some of those reservations are on plots of land that my family owned.
This nigga's out his fucking mind. This shit crazy, bro. This nigga's a fucking fraud. This is the most insane interview I've ever heard.
So they either needed to pay up or hand them property. So they decided to, hand them property based off of how. Now that's how I know that the government got something working in that. But as far as the reservations are concerned, they own plots of those lands. But based off of my Aunt Kat's situation, but yeah, it still worked out. She didn't want to go no further than that once they agreed to build her house. So the way she wanted it too. So I said congratulations to her. I love her to death. I'm gonna come visit her. But yeah, my whole family, like we got a medicine man, a medicine woman, like it's crazy. Like I done went to a couple ceremonies already, and I learned some things that's new. That's how I knew that certain people in my family are buried above ground. That was new to me. I never seen that done before. I was like, okay, what about the birds? Like, are they gonna get to them? But it's like they got this. They have these special type of sheets that block all that weather type stuff and birds from messing with the,
Yo, this motherfucker is reaching. This nigga said weather type stuff.
That's what I was tripping on.
Bro.
I was like, okay. What about the birds?
I mean, birds just don't go around attacking people without no reason. You know what I mean?
I think we're in real trouble.
Like, are they gonna get to them? But it's like they got this, they have these special type of sheets that block all that weather type stuff and birds from messing with the, you know.
It's high science, man. It's art form. Yeah.
And they keep them up on, I want to say, stilts.
Waking up every day, first thing you're thinking about is your stilts.
It's garbage.
So you literally come in the studio and then formulate sentences in your head.
Yeah.
For quite some time. It is a time period that they do it, then they end up taking it down. Eventually we'll have to go to a different ceremony where they burn the body.
So you literally come in the studio and then formulate sentences in your head.
Yeah.
So if you knew they burned the body, do you know what burial means, nigga? Do you know what burial means? Dame Calloway is insane. God damn. My apologies, people.
But you know, and then everybody gather around, plant stuff around like this big pot of wood that they'll put the body on, literally. Like it would be like how a person carry a casket, or people would carry the casket rather. It would be people to carry the body over, you know. Okay, for example, like I did something similar with my grandfather, but not to that extent. But I know they did that with my aunt. And you know, and once again, that was my first time seeing that. There was a lot of ceremonies I wasn't used to.
My nigga, I've been to tons of ceremonies. I know people who have been to tons of ceremonies. I have not been to no motherfucking roast ceremonies you talking about like this. And of course it's going to be new to you. You said you just learned about this shit in 2015. So you went from 2015 to not knowing nothing, to be off on your African shit, to have roasted 2 of your motherfucking ancestors in an above ground grill. What kind of Japanese hibachi PF chain type shit is this? This has got to be out of line. This has got to be out of line. But this nigga just told me he's been to 2 roasts thus far. Bro, what the fuck are y'all doing to your family over there? This nigga is cooking his ancestors on the fucking beach.
But this is the reason why I don't talk about particular tribes, because I know certain tribes do certain things. I mind my business when it comes to these tribes. Of course, if I do mention them, it's based off of some paperwork that I'm displaying on screen. But yeah, man, like once again, I got taught rather by my grandfather a long time ago, schooled me to the point where I needed to have all of that information. Back then, that was about 2015. I want to say 2015.
8 years.
I'm like, why y'all just telling me this now? Back then, that was about 2015. I want to say 2015.
Again, Mr. Dan Calloway is talking of change but does not say whom, what, where, how, and does not detail the alleged conversation he allegedly had with his grandfather in 2015, leaving many gaps for the listener to assume rather than making clear omissions that can be checked and challenged. Like, what was the conversation? Which family member was the conversation about? Which reservations did his grandfather allegedly take him to?
But I fully understand now. I know who my family is. I mean, all the way back to Chief Wanaluska is who I'm related to on my father's side. And of course, they will be considered now Cherokee, Eastern Band or East Band Cherokee. And I'm like, I wonder, at that time, I was like, I wonder if that happened to everybody else. I wonder if people just didn't know, like that was being kept a secret, because based off of what the elders are telling me and my family members was that they were being killed to say that they were Indian or had any Indian blood in their family. And all of my family was full-blooded.